Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us here today at Bitcoin Exchange. This is Jay with a new video on IBO. It's not an ICO, and I'll explain that to you in just a moment, on a company called UCASH, and this is their website. It's https://u.cash/. That's their official URL for their website, and this is their website we're looking at here. And I'm going to go through just a little bit about this, and then we're going to jump into an interview that I did with two of their main team members, John, Mark, and Brian, and you'll meet them here in just a moment. But I want to go through and explain a little bit about what this is, and then they'll tell us some more about it in the interview, and then we'll come back at the end of the interview and let you know more about the IBO and the dates and all of that. Okay, so what is UCASH token? The UCASH token is a digital asset and the fuel of the network. UCASH tokens are a universal access key that allows users to do transactions with any currency or asset that they like. This is not something that you are going to buy the tokens like a normal ICO. This is something that they're offering, their company is offering for you to get involved in helping spread the advertising and the word about UCASH, and they will pay you or give you UCASH tokens, and then you can use them within the ecosystem of UCASH, or you can immediately exchange them at UCASH for Bitcoin, or you can take it to another exchange and exchange it for a different crypto that you would like to have. But this company is interesting in the fact that it's the first IBO, which is the initial bounty offering, where you can receive some of these tokens simply by just telling other people about this company and what they do. So what they're actually going to be doing is helping people come together, people get into this cryptocurrency world using fiat money and different cryptocurrencies. You can take fiat money from like 59 different countries right now, but soon it's going to be pretty much all of them, and take it to this UCASH website and exchange it for any other cryptocurrency you'd like to have. You can also take cryptocurrency to the website and find where you're going to exchange that. Now, this UCASH is not an exchange per se, like Poloniex or Bitfinex or anything like that. This is a meeting place on their platform where you will find someone that will do what you need done. In other words, I've got $1,000 in US dollars and I want to buy into Bitcoin. I want to come to this company and find someone who's willing to sell me Bitcoin for the money that I'm willing to pay for it, and we will make this swap out on this platform that UCASH has built, and vice versa. You can take Bitcoins and sell them to someone who comes to you for cash. And so you can participate in the IBO, and we'll get to that on the back end of this video. But for now, we're going to go straight into the interview that I had with John, Mark, and with Brian. So here we go. Okay, so here we are live with John, Mark, and Brian with UCASH, and I wanted to say thanks for meeting us, first of all, and get to know you guys a little bit, and I'd let you tell us a little bit about your program. So let me ask this first question to get you rolling. Tell us a little bit about your vision and the team that you're working with, and what it is exactly that UCASH is setting out to do, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for the introduction. Thanks for the time today. Myself, I more recently am new and involved into UCASH. In terms of the vision, I think I'll let Brian speak to it on that. But my role here at UCASH has really been, I've been brought on to kind of help with, I've always been in business development, sales, and marketing. So that's always been my background. So my role has been to engage, just like today, and really reach out. Thank you for reaching out to us this time around. Mm-hmm. But it's to kind of get the word out of who we are, and what our global mission is. Just kind of give you a scaffolding. We're kind of like a peer-to-peer financial service network, an alternative to what is today's banking model. We're kind of that, we're hoping to be the disruptive fintech technology that's really going to kind of create that shift between our current state of banking to that decentralized model. We're really trying to bridge the gap between digital currencies, bless you, and use cases today. So digital currencies and cash. So one of our taglines is where cash meets digital currency. In terms of a vision, currently right now, there is a Universal Financial Access 2020 initiative that the World Bank has come up with. And part of our vision is to help bridge that gap as well by offering anybody with a computing device and access to internet the ability to have financial inclusion and to have quality financial services that they currently do not have access to. So I think it was 2 billion people across developing nations. So it's a 20-80 split where 20% of people have access to banking and 80% don't in these nations. So we're hoping to bridge that gap. And that's one of our missions, as well as offer that, that service of cash to crypto once on our platform. Our goal is to utilize a network of online as well as live retail converters across all nations, just like what you would find as a Western Union dealer, where people could walk in to enter and exit our system, so top up their account and then get that account into local fiat from digital currency to actual local currency. That's kind of our goal, is to grow this network at this point. Brian, do you want to add on to our vision a little bit there as well?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, we're an alternative banking system that allows anyone to participate in financial services. And one of the groups that we're going after, as Jean-Marc has mentioned, is the unbanked, right? That's been a promise of digital currencies and Bitcoin ever since this idea has come out. Where we started to lead to this idea was when we first got into Bitcoin back in 2014. We found out about Bitcoin, loved it, but we found it difficult to get. So what we did was we built a web app that allowed money service businesses, so payday loan locations, foreign exchange locations, businesses that offer money services, to be able to buy and sell Bitcoin out of their store. So I, the user, could walk into one of those stores with cash and walk out with Bitcoin, or I could walk into these stores with Bitcoin and walk out with cash. What we realized working with these MSBs is that the concept of a money service business, a financial center that acts as the central money point for a society, exists everywhere, right? In Canada, it exists as a payday location, a remittance location. In India, it exists as a mobile minute shop, right? In rural Papua New Guinea, it exists as a shell shop, right? So the idea of actual businesses that are physical stores that act as kind of these money centers exists everywhere. So on our end, we thought, while running SecureCoin, why don't we just globally connect all of these, what we call converters, together under one platform, give them the powers to do what a bank can do. And if you think about what a bank does, a bank allows a user to deposit funds, withdraw funds, and have access to financial services. Through our global converter network, any user can then load up their UCASH account. So in unbanked areas, you can digitize your physical cash, have access to financial services like being able to send funds, do peer-to-peer loans, be able to buy and sell cryptocurrency, and any type of financial service you can think of, and also withdraw out of the system as well. And so we've really positioned ourselves as a platform that will allow for financial services to users, and financial service providers can actually plug into our UCASH network and offer their financial services through the converter network to end users.
Okay, so let me recap on something you had just mentioned. I spoke with one of my subscribers late last night out of California, and their problem was they had gotten into Bitcoin when it was very young, had several hundred coins, got scared when the market hit around $5,000 and took a dip, and pulled off all their coins and converted it into cash, and now they can't get back into it because, like, Coinbase has limitations every week of how much you can buy into it. So they're looking for a place to go and say, I've got $400,000 or $500,000 in cash. I want to convert that into Bitcoin. They could come to you at UCASH and say, wire you the money or whatever, and you can send them Bitcoin without limitation. Or is there limitations in your program?
Yeah, that's a great question. When we look at kind of limitations here, who we are is we're offering a platform that people can utilize. So we're actually not that, where the end user is going to get the money. It's going to be from these converters, right? Depending on the locale where they're located, there's going to be different restrictions, and depending on whether that converter is comfortable doing that. Well, so let's say if we take someone who's a local Bitcoiner at this point, who wants to join as a converter on the UCASH network, they may be only comfortable doing $5,000, $10,000 at a time versus more than that. Also, UCASH was designed as a global mission. Now, I didn't mention it as my background, but I came from a brokerage as well. I did work in a financial brokerage. And, when you start looking at anti-money laundering and know your client purposes, we kind of anticipated that as being the next barrier of entry for major fintech companies using blockchain technology is to provide that gap between anonymity as well as, while appeasing regulators as well. So we built in anti-money laundering and KYC, know your client technology, which is pretty simple. Just, people are able to upload and verify themselves either through online means, or if they want to go through further verification in person at a location, and that give them further access and higher limits as they want to do more business. Like you said, with Coinbase, they can only get in a certain amount at a certain time. Whereas with us, once you're fully verified, our converters, someone might be more inclined to deal with someone who's fully verified and do $25,000 because it's deemed as a less risky transaction.
Okay. So, John Mark, let me ask this then. If in that situation, then UCASH would almost act like a escrow type service. Would you intermediate between the two, or are you just introducing them together, putting them together?
Great question. Somewhat like we are just offering a platform that then users will be able to search converters and we would be connecting them. We do kind of offer like multi-signature escrow capabilities, but we want to kind of decentralize us to the point where we're not dealing mainly with the conversions itself and loading and topping up that liquidity. Hopefully once the system has been, filled up, it'll kind of continue to grow itself. And we won't have to, inject any liquidity or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Toronto, your initial question was you have one of your subscribers who was trying to get Bitcoin, but Coinbase has limited transactions, right?
Correct.
I think on our end, what we position ourselves as is a technology provider who facilitates peer-to-peer transactions. Right. Okay. The same way Uber and Airbnb and any of these other sharing economy business models, they're technology providers that allow, for example, in Uber's case, riders to connect with drivers. In our case, we do the exact same thing. We allow users who, in this case, in your subscriber's case, who's interested in buying Bitcoin, to meet with someone who's essentially selling Bitcoin.
I see.
So what we have in our system is similar to local Bitcoins in the sense that we allow anyone to create ads in our system that will show up to users. And the ads are going to be catered to whatever services you want to offer. So if you're looking to offer loading services in Canadian dollars and American dollars, that's your services that you provide, right? So if I'm looking for Bitcoin, your ad as a converter won't show up to me, right? But if you're a local Bitcoiner who buys and sells Bitcoin and you throw up an ad, a sell ad, and I'm looking to buy Bitcoin, I can then be hooked up directly with you via UCASH technology and its ecosystem. And whatever your parameters are, I work with. So let's say that you as a converter are willing to deal with cash transactions of USD from limitations of $100 to $5,000. Well, as a user, and I'm looking for $5,000, you'll show up when I search for that service, right? But I mean, Bitcoin buying and selling is just one service that our platform offers. So we allow for peer-to-peer financial services. So Bitcoin buying and selling is kind of one thing. Another one would be peer-to-peer loans, right? Imagine me after loading up my UCASH account here in Toronto, being able to give a micro loan to someone in rural Vietnam, and then they cash out using a local converter there to the local network, right? So what it allowed for right there was that allowed for a service beyond Bitcoin. It allowed for sending of funds, microtransactions, right? And as well as the ability to do peer-to-peer loans, where I actually set my own rates for giving out loans.
I see. Okay.
Right? So it enables all these capabilities, of which Bitcoin buying and selling is one. But you'll see more and more financial services come out over time.
Yeah.
Very good.
Just to tie back to the original question, it will be up to the converters and local regulation as well. Sorry, that's one of our phones going off.
Yeah.
But also locale will depend on those transaction limits. It's not us who are going to set them, but it's going to be the converters as well as kind of whatever region we're operating in. That'll also kind of dictate what the converters will do.
Okay. Now, one of the other questions that I have for you here then is the development of the product and your service. At what point right now are you? I noticed on your website that you have it broken down. Some of them are 95%, some of them are 80%. You guys have gotten a pretty good traction on what you're doing in this. I mean, you're not just trying to formulate and build. You're actually almost there. Is that right?
Yeah. Since Brian, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
It's true. And if you look at a lot of these ICOs that are happening that are raising funds, if you would equate them to typical fundraising, they would be in their seed stage or maybe pre-seed, where they just have an idea and they're looking for funding to put these ideas in the marketplace to see if there's product market fit. Right, that's where most of these ICOs really are. Right. I think it's a lot unreasonable that they're raising the amount that they're raising, because you don't really need that much funds. Right. To get your initial idea off the place. But in our situation, we're doing a little bit differently. We have product that we've been developing for the last number of years. We don't necessarily like the idea of an ICO, but what we did was we pushed the concept a little bit further to do what we call an IBO, which, our conversation so far, building a global alternative financial ecosystem, takes a lot of work, right? And we want to decentralize this over time. So we're going to need as much help as possible from everyone across the world. So that's why we're doing a bounty offering, which is essentially packaging up anything action that would add value to UCASH and its growth, and giving out UCASH tokens in compensation for people putting real world work in to completing bounties. Right. And so that's how we're essentially getting everyone to participate in UCASH's success, and as well as growing the network. And so where we are in terms of development is we have converters here in Toronto. We have converters in Mumbai, India, that allow you to walk into the store, load up money with cash. You could also, from there, after you've loaded up your account, you can then instantly participate in the bounty offering by being a benefactor. And come December 8th, we're going to be rolling out Bitcoin buying and selling, limited to some jurisdictions, because again, our liquidity is limited to converters in those areas, right? It's like local Bitcoins. If local Bitcoin doesn't exist in an area, there is no Bitcoin liquidity in that area. It's the same in our case. So a lot of our work is growing our converter network, growing our financial services, and growing our user base. So that's where we are right now. You'll see we're going to be doing more and more of a public play come 1 month before the end of the IBO. That's when we're really going to start driving marketing, because of the fact that because we're doing a bounty offering, we want to give enough time for all of our bounty hunters to complete bounties.
Okay, so now once the bounty is over, is there going to be a coin, the UCASH coin, for sale for, say, 1,000 coins for 1 Ethereum? Or is this just, you're not trying to raise capital and venture in this then? You're just trying to raise awareness and get the people in the bounty program to help spread the word and to help spread the network. And then they can take the coins, the UCASH coins that they have received for their work, and then take it to the exchange or use it within the system. Is that right?
Yeah,
exactly. So there's a couple of use cases as to why I, as a bounty hunter, complete bounties. Okay, so take, for example, one of our bounties, which is to translate our white paper into Russian. Okay, we have someone in Russia who completed the translation. We approved it, and they received UCASH tokens into their account. Now, what can they do with that? They can hold it. Because it may go up in value, because as our network and UCASH becomes more valuable, so will its token, because we have limited supply and increasing demand. 2, you can actually use it for financial services, which is the purpose of the UCASH token, which is prepaid access to financial services. So you can actually use it to pay bills, to give it as a loan, or whatever you like, or whatever financial service you like with it. The third one is you can actually cash it out using your local converter. Right, so that you can, after getting paid the bounty for completing the white paper translation, you can then search up a local converter and convert out to the Russian ruble, or whatever payment options that local converters will provide.
Now, once this coin hits the marketplace, and I think I read somewhere in your white paper that will happen sometime immediately after your IBO is complete, right? Yeah. Then could the people that get involved also use things like Shapeshift as a conversion?
Yeah. So great question. Yeah, so in the white paper, so the reason why we're not allowing the exchanges at this moment is we don't want a secondary market to open up on our coin during our IBO period. We do have defined levels that we're trying to hit and reach.
Sure.
But we don't want those kind of whales to step in and open up the secondary market. We really want that fair and equitable distribution. As you mentioned, is that our goal, as much as it is to raise cash, that was more of our goal 3 years ago. And we did do those type of fundings on a more official level. But when we look at now, we want to have a really organic growth and add that value through sweat equity. So when we look at translations, I myself did one of them as a bounty, and that's how I started to get involved. But yeah, we have spoken about using Shapeshift as one of those tools that you will be able to use. A lot of these projects are open source. It's pretty easy to integrate within the APIs. So our goal is not only to allow just shapeshift between all currencies, but eventually allow it to be in between all local fiats, which is just local currencies across the world where we operate within as well. To offer that within it, we're hoping to offer the full financial suite, a whole gauntlet to these people, including that shapeshift capability. It is something we've been looking at. It is possible to plug in quite quickly as well. So,
sure. And think of shapeshift not just shapeshifting between cryptocurrencies, because on our platform we are digital fiat currency agnostic. So when I load up in my local converter here with Canadian dollars, digital Canadian dollar shows up in my account, right? If you load, whereabouts are you from, Jim?
I'm in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, so if you go to a local converter, you load up in USD, digital USD will show up in your account. Now, you can do instant foreign exchange between any digital fiat on our platform, okay? So on our platform is going to be digital fiat agnostic. We're also going to be cryptocurrency agnostic. So on our platform, you can hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, any digital currency that you'd like, right? And the idea is to have unlimited matched pairs, swapping pairs between the two, where you can convert between any digital fiat to any digital fiat, or any digital fiat to any cryptocurrency to any cryptocurrency, and back and forth. And in the future, we're going to have a third category, which is any type of digital asset. So any real world asset that can be tokenized, that will have digital value, can be put on our platform. Real estate deeds, land titles, stocks, bonds, whatever has digital value can be put on our platform, and also be instantly shape-shifted between any digital fiat or any cryptocurrency. So we, in the future, will see millions of pairs of digital value, right? Because we are digital asset agnostic.
I understand. And I think you guys have a wonderful niche in what you're doing, because from what I understand, worldwide, there's only 5% of the people in the world that realize what cryptocurrency is, even though it's the largest revolution and actually the greatest exchange of wealth in human history. And yet they don't know about it. But they're going to be coming in waves, and they're going to need people like your team, like UCASH, to help them get involved without having to learn the dynamics of the blockchain and all the different things that go into the Bitcoin. They just want a place that says, turn this into this, and you can do that in very simple terms.
Yeah, and you touched that point, is that this is one of the largest shifts of wealth since oil discovery times, where they saw this huge shift of wealth from cash to oil as a commodity. So yeah, it is one of the largest shifts that we're seeing in our lifetime, absolutely. So we're pretty excited. As you said, a niche, definitely it's a niche, but it's a growing niche. And I think, when we look at our vision of developing countries, they're a lot more open to adopting these technologies and using our platform as more of our platform as a service to build upon their own digital currencies as well within these developing nations, to combat that central banking problem that they're seeing with massive inflation and such. So we're pretty excited with this project. We know it's a big global scope, but we're trying to develop the niche market first and grow to that critical point where we can then start expanding pretty fast globally.
Well, I mean, starting off, going after crypto folks, this next short term of a couple of months is, I guess, going niche, but ultimately we're going after personal wealth.
Yeah.
Right. People, you're unbanked, who has their cash underneath a mattress in the attic because there is no other option.
Right.
Being able to give an option for people's personal wealth to be able to digitize that and then be able to utilize it, right? To be able to participate. like me and you can over here in North America.
Good.
Absolutely, Jay.
Very good. All right, guys. So to tell the people, how can they get involved in this IBO to help raise awareness to their friends, family, and to the rest of the people around them? And what kind of a reward system do you guys offer for that effort in your IBO? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So as kind of we mentioned earlier today, we talked a little bit about ICO versus IBO. So we kind of went for an initial bounty offering. Bounties are not new in the crypto world, but we wanted to add value to the network through mostly what's called sweat equity, I guess, for lack of a better word. And so what we are doing is instead of throwing dollars at marketing, we're distributing our token through a bounty model. So currently right now, you can participate in this whole kind of crypto hype here at UCASH without even investing any cash. So what you can do right now is you can just go onto our UCASH website, which I'm sure you'll include in the link here, Jay, at u.cash, and open up an account today and verify your account through email or phone. And you'll earn 500 UCASH at a value of 0.01 or 0.0107 USD right now. So about a cent and 1.07 cents USD. So it'll be about $5 USD at this point. But all you need to do is sign up for an account, verify your email or phone, earn that. That's one of the most simple bounties. We also offer bounties such as translating our website, making YouTube videos like today, Jay. Anything like that where people can participate in our community, and anything that will add value to the network, get the word out there. We're open to bounty suggestions as well. So if any users have any bounties, they'd be happy to suggest. But anything that will participate to the growth of our network, from translating white papers and getting us into other locales, to opening up a converter, to depositing your first $100 into UCASH, YouTube videos, whatever it might be. But we're very open to community growth. So we'd even take suggestions. But today, just sign up for an account, earn 500 UCASH, and you can go through further verification and upload ID and such, and earn an additional 1,000 UCASH.
That's what I've come across. You know,
Yeah.
but the question, I guess, remains, and you mentioned, I think it was you, it might have been Brian earlier, that said, you know, the people that are raising money in these ICOs don't necessarily need all the money that they're raising in these ICOs. You know, to get their company launched. And that's true. I guess it would vary from each company, but
Yeah,
you guys are going to need funding at some point.
we already have it. We've had it for years. As I kind of mentioned at the start, is that we've been invested for, we did institutional investment, like where we actually raised a company, you know, so.
Yeah, you're using your personal funds, but I mean the actual company itself to continue to sustain. It's going to get something off of the trade.
Raised 3 years ago in over 7 figures.
For this company?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're great then. I didn't know that.
3 years ago, like we already pitched the deck to like institutional investors who actually invested in our company that will develop the UCASH platform.
That's good to know. I'll bring that out. Okay, and now that we're back, I want to go and do a finishing up of this video, and we're going to visit some of the information that they spoke about and get into some things in detail. The UCASH distribution is going to be 500 million tokens, and they're going to give those out, as they said, as Jean-Marc and Brian both said, for getting into helping them spread the news. And this is where we're going on the website now. The initial bounty offering, I think, is really interesting. Here's some examples for the consumers, that you guys that are out there. You sign up and open up an account. They will give you 500 UCASH tokens. That's a benefaction of around $5. Okay, you do a link on Facebook. You get 100 UCASH for helping others find them. You do a link on Twitter, you get 100 UCASH tokens for helping spread the word. Isn't this nice? You don't have to go spend any of your Bitcoin to jump into this. It's not an ICO, it's an IBO. And the reason that they can do this, and I asked them about this, is how are you not making money on what you're doing? And they said, we've already raised our venture capital 3 years ago for this project when we first began. We had several people come in with several $1 million to help fund us, and we don't need money. We've got all the money that we need. We need to take UCASH to the world and help the world get into a place where they understand and have a place to come and meet others and swap out cash for money or money for cash. Not money laundering, mind you, but you want to buy a Bitcoin and you don't want to go through the hassle of opening up a blockchain wallet through Coinbase or somebody like that. You can come to this particular platform and find someone. Or if you want to swap out a specific crypto for something else, so they bring a lot to the table. And I explain to you here converters. If you sign up an MSB converter with someone, a converter is someone who is willing to convert a coin into cash or cash into coin. If you are fortunate enough to talk someone in your neighborhood into becoming an MSB converter, you'll get 12,000 UCAsh, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of $120. If you sign up a retail converter, it's 8,000 UCAsh, somewhere in the neighborhood of $80. And it doesn't take a long time to do this. This is not extremely difficult to do. A converter is just someone that is willing to be approached and say, I'd like to buy Bitcoin or I'd like to sell Bitcoin. Are you willing to convert Bitcoin into U.S. dollars, or are you willing to take Canadian dollars and turn it into this particular cryptocurrency? So that's 8,000 UCAsh. Sign up a converter as an individual, you're going to get 3,000 UCAsh. And so the list goes on and on. Here's add your first funds. If you add 250 of the U.S. dollars into your UCAsh wallet, they will pay you 500 UCAsh. Okay? And the bounties are up to 8,000. So you want to do this as quickly as you can. Cash to digital, perform the first minimum $100 U.S. transaction from cash to digital, and you get 500 UCAsh. So they're paying you to get involved, to be involved, and to help others understand this. So here's cash to digital, here's digital to cash. They're both giving you 500 UCAsh. Produce a song about this, and you get 100,000 UCAsh, which is about $1,000. Not bad. Produce a video. You can produce a video like this. They'll give you 300,000 UCAsh, which is a benefaction of around 3,000 US dollars. If you write an article or a blog, or you put a post out there, you get 20,000 UCAsh, which is about $200. So this is extra income for you to help get their name out there. And they're paying pretty good, geez, $3,000 for producing a video. That's really good. If you user video, you create a video explaining how this process works, you get 75,000 UCAsh. That's $750 roughly. You can create art about all of this, and they'll give you 50,000 UCAsh. Here's one, creating a wallet that will be able to be used on their platform. They'll give you 500,000 UCAsh, which is, again, $5,000. A converter video is 50,000 UCAsh, which is, again, $500. A YouTube ad, create a video to show your YouTube, 250,000 UCAsh. A reality video, 100,000 UCAsh. You're out there on the street and you're talking to people. Talk to 25 different individuals about UCAsh, and you get it on film, you get $1,000. Simple way, folks, to help get their name out. This is kind of a cool concept, I think. You can translate their white paper to different languages. They'll give you 500,000 UCAsh. That's $5,000. You can translate a website. They'll give you 100,000 UCAsh, which is $1,000. You can do news source articles on it. Write an original article about UCAsh for a local or online news source, and you'll get up to, and by the way, these are up tos, $200,000 UCAsh. Now, you go back up here, there was no up tos. But now down here, there's up tos because they're getting into some heavier deal. Steam it. You put a post out there on Steam it, 50K. And UCAsh, you put out the same blog, 50K, Reddit, things like that. Integrate UCAsh into your existing wallet, 50,000, so the UCAsh. In the industry cycle, industry listings, 5K, 10K here. If you're a coder, you can make 30 million UCAsh, which is 300,000 US dollars to develop mobile apps with enhanced UCAsh functionality. Here is your advanced portal, 20 million UCAsh for making an advanced portal, which is $200,000. This gets serious, folks. When you're talking about like an IBO platform, develop an initial bounty offering platform for others to do IBOs. That's 12 million UCAsh or $120,000. This gets really serious for these people that can do this kind of thing. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do this video because it's great. You know, CoinDesk, write an article about UCASH and the initial bounty offering, and you get 200,000 UCASH. This is simple, folks, and you can take this money after the IBO is completely finished, and they pay you. Let's say you do a news BTC, write an article about this, and they give you 50,000 UCASH, and then you turn around at the end of the IBO, you can come right back to UCASH and swap it out for Bitcoin or whatever you want. So really, really cool concept here. Here's some funny things. I was talking to them about it, John Mark and others. You telling me that if I get Vitalik Buterin to jump in here and become an individual that is using UCASH, and I can get 100,000 UCAsh? He's like, yep, Andreas, yep, 100,000. So this is a challenge here to do some of these things, and it's kind of funny. But nonetheless, what they're trying to do is get their awareness out there. And this is just different ideas that you can do, but you can get a hold of them and ask them, if I do this, would that count for what? And find out. Help us get a new office to grow somewhere in a city, 750,000 UCAsh. In-house developers, they need more developers to help us as this thing is going to continue to grow. You get 500,000, which is $5,000 to help a developer get involved in this. And this goes on and on. So you can go and peruse this website at your leisure. And, there's not a whole lot in the white paper other than going and saying to you, in fact, I don't know that they never even brought up a white paper. I don't think I've even seen a white paper on this. Maybe over here. Tells you a little bit more about what they're doing, but they're not raising money, folks, for an ICO. They already have the product. They already have their venture capitalists coming forward and raising the money. Now they're giving you and I an opportunity to help spread the word and then get paid for helping raise the awareness in UCASH. So I thought that was really cool. Wanted to put it out there and let you know about it. And if you know anyone that is a blogger, someone that does a lot of Facebook and tweets and different things like that, if you are an influencer and you have your own following with maybe a blog or anything along those lines, get involved in this and jump on this and help raise the awareness of what UCASH is trying to do, because this kind of service is going to find its place all across the globe to make life easier on the masses coming into a new currency that is going to be available for years and years and years to come. Okay? So again, this is Jay with Bitcoin Exchange, and I want you to do me a favor, throw me out a comment and hit that subscribe button. And we have other videos on the way, so just hang with us, walk with us, and these are wonderful times to live in. This channel is a lot of fun for me to do. Keep in mind that this channel is simply my opinion on what I have found, and I'm sharing it with others. If you decide to get involved with any of the things that you have learned from this channel, that is entirely your decision. And if you do well, great. If you don't, that's your responsibility. We bear none of that, of course, on our end. We're just here to share information with you, try and help people understand what's going on around them. And the years that come, in the next several years that are coming on the horizon, you're going to know a lot more about it because you walked with us in these early days. Okay? Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the future.